you set about learning a song that someone else has written, you generally take one of two approaches. Either you do your best to try and make it sound as close to the original recording of the song as possible, or you take the original just as a point of departure and you adapt the song to your own style of playing. You create your own version. In these lessons, I just want to share some of the ideas, some of the tricks of the trade, and some of the ways of thinking that I apply when I'm creating my own version of someone's song. I've chosen one of my long-time favourite songs to work with, Bob Dylan's heartfelt tribute to the blues, Blind Willie McTell. Here's the basic chord sequence. And the song can of course be played simply by strumming along using basic chord shapes like these. But one of the things I like to do is to combine basic open chord shapes with alternative ways of playing the same chords, using a mixture of open strings and notes fretted higher up the fretboard. So for the E minor, for example, I jump from this familiar basic chord shape up to this version here at the 7th fret. So you may recognise this as a A minor shaped bar chord, which played at the 7th fret gives us E minor. But I'm not playing it as a bar chord. Instead of barring across all 6 strings, I'm just using that first finger to play the 5th string. So I'm fingering the middle 4 strings, but leaving the top and bottom strings open. The big open sound of this voicing of the E minor chord comes from the fact that it now has no less than 4 root notes. Before settling on this option as the one I most like the sound of, I tried each of these options as well. All alternative voicings of the basic E minor chord that are generated just by noticing which fingered notes can be replaced by open strings. I invite you to try this idea for yourself. Maybe you'll settle on a different option. Looking at the next chord, B7th, I had noticed that in some versions of this song, this chord gets substituted for by a B minor, particularly in the intro and fills part of the song. So I thought, why not try a B sus4? Which is very much an in-between type of chord in terms of its tonality. To make a sus4, we replace the 3rd note in the key. So we're in the key of B, that 3rd note is D sharp in this case, and we replace it with the 4th, which in this case is E. I've settled on this voicing to go with the E minor shape that I'm using for the first chord. Here you can see how I've arrived at this shape by dropping the D sharp, the note that gives the B7th chord its major tonality. And I've also left out the A, the note that makes it a dominant chord. And instead we've introduced the rather indecisive 4th note of the key of B, E, on our open top and bottom strings. So the start of my intro links this basic E minor chord via a slide up the 5th string to my new E minor shape, then the B sus4, and then back down to the basic E minor again. I then use a version of the E minor 7th chord played using harmonics at the 12th fret. And I'll do this to help link things together rhythmically and also to provide a bit of contrast to the rather dark sounding open chords. If you've not used harmonics before, here's the trick. So at certain points on the fretboard, particularly the 12th, the 7th and 5th frets, you can get a particular sound by dividing the vibrating length of the string into two parts. Just by touching the string, you have to touch it quite firmly, hit it quite firmly too, and then as you hit it, you sort of lift your finger off. So you're not pressing the string down to the fret, you're literally just touching it. And as soon as you've played it, you whip your finger off the string. The positioning of the finger has to be exactly over the fret, not perhaps where you might have it in between the two frets, but right on the metal fret itself to get the best result. It's a bit of a knack, takes a bit of practice, but that's how you play harmonics. Finally, for this part of the intro, I play a simple minor scale riff. So this is just the first 3 notes of the natural minor scale. The scale goes, but I'm literally just playing the first 3 notes up and back. So, the part of the intro that I've covered in this lesson goes like this. I'll run through some of the other ideas that I use on my version of this song in the next soundbite. But meanwhile, I encourage you to explore the ideas that we've been over in this lesson and see if you can come up with your own version of this intro. Or, if you prefer, choose another song and see if you can apply the same basic ideas to that. If you found this little video interesting, please click on the like button if there is one, or leave a comment, and do feel free to share the video with your friends. And if you'd like to gain full access to all our guitar teaching materials, please visit the Secret Guitar Teacher site and take a free look round at what's available there. See you again soon.